The NBA playoffs are in full swing this weekend as we get ready for the return of the finals, as we get ready for 3 crucial games this weekend. It's going to be a big weekend in the NBA. But first, we need to wrap up what happened over the past few days. This is going to be a great day, and I got a great feeling about it. The Atlanta Hawks find themselves up 3-2 over the Philadelphia 76ers as Game 6 is tonight. The Los Angeles Clippers and the Utah Jazz. The Clippers, surprisingly, find themselves up 3-2, but they have suffered a minor setback. And the Brooklyn Nets have found themselves in playing a Game 7 against the Milwaukee Bucks, despite the fact that back in Game 5, Kevin Durant had a triple-double in the series in Game 5, but Game 6 the other night was not something to write home about if you're a fan of the Brooklyn Nets. I will have the NBA playoffs, all that and more, plus baseball talk and the world of motor racing today on the Scott Manning YouTube Weekend Kickoff Show. I am so glad to have you here with me here on this Friday afternoon. And my name is Scott Manning. It is now time for the Scott Manning YouTube Weekend Kickoff Show. And guys, thank you so much for being with me here on this Friday. Like I said last night, and like I said, last night the Bucks had a chance to put it away. Last night, believe it or not, the Brooklyn Nets had a chance to put it away the other night. But in Game 6, Milwaukee shined. And now we have a Game 7 on Saturday, and I will get to that in the show. Believe me. But first, we have a couple of other games I want to do before we get to that one. The Atlanta Hawks beat the Philadelphia Sixers Wednesday night, 109-106. Trae Young, 39 huge points, 7 assists, 3 steals in the ball game. Give him some love. John Collins, he was big in a supporting role. 19 points, 11 rebounds, 2 block shots. And when you have 2 big guys in Danilo Gallinari and Lou Williams coming off the bench and scoring big. Gallinari, 16 points, 8 rebounds. Lou Williams, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Both those players came off the bench, and they were big. But for the Philadelphia 76ers, they find themselves in a world of hurt on this day. And it was just incredible what in the world happened in game number 5 the other night. Joel Embiid, 37 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals in the game. It was not enough for him in a supporting role. And it's ridiculous. Believe me. Seth Curry, 36 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. The Atlanta Hawks were down 26 at one point in the ball game. They outscored the 76ers 40-19 in the fourth quarter. And they were on 16 of 22 shooting, and they made 22 of 28 free throws. That is how the Atlanta Hawks came back the other night, down 26 to win the game. And everybody in Philadelphia was stunned. And so was I. But for the Philadelphia 76ers, Embiid and Simmons, they were the only 2 players to score in the second half. They were 10 of 15. 10 of 15 turnovers came in the second half. Simmons is 22 for 66 at the free throw line in the playoffs. That's only 33%, people. Unbelievable. That's all I can say. And I've never seen anything like this in my life. The 76ers right now, here this morning, are thinking one thing. And in the fourth quarter of that ball game on Wednesday night, the 76ers were just a plain train wreck. That is exactly what happened back in Game 5. Game 6 is tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN. What will happen? Can the Atlanta Hawks put it away and stun the basketball world in the NBA East playoffs? Or can That remains to be seen. So, can the Hawks pull it off and send the 76ers home? The 76ers, they were the number one team in the Eastern Conference. And now, all of a sudden now, they're finding themselves on the brink of disaster, on the brink of elimination. And that's all I can say at this point. And that's all I can say. I've never seen a 76ers team blow it. And that's exactly what happened. But Trae Young, give him credit. 39 points, 7 assists, 3 steals. He was the stealer of the show, or the star of the show, I should say. Game 6 tonight. Can the Hawks put it away? We shall see. All right, let's move on. The Los Angeles Clippers and the Utah Jazz. Wednesday night in Game 5, the Clippers beat the Jazz 119-111, and the Clippers find themselves up 3-2. However, the Clippers have suffered a huge setback. Kawhi Leonard is going to be a no-go for Game 6 tonight. That could hurt a little bit. We'll have to wait and see on that. But back in Game 5, Paul George, 37 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Marcus Morris Sr., he was a big guy in a big role. 25 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Now, I know 2 rebounds, 2 assists don't sound like much, but 25 points, that's huge. Reggie Jackson, not the baseball player, not the retired ball player, by the way. 22 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. And Terrence Mann, great night for him. 13 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. He knows how to get the job done. So, the Clippers find themselves up 3-2. Right now, they are feeling the
house of pleasure.
But for the Utah Jazz, I've not forgotten about them. The Jazz, 32 points, 3 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, hold on. For the Utah Jazz, Bojan Bogdanovic, 32 points, 3 rebounds. 32 points, not enough. Donovan Mitchell, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Rudy Gobert, he had a double-double in the game. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. That was it for him. Royce O'Neal, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And that was it for him. Joe Ingles, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. The Clippers won this ball game because they opened the second half with a 23-9 run. They shot 50% from the field, which was very huge. They only shot 40% from three-point land, but they shot 84% from the free throw line. That's how the Clippers won this game. Bojan Bogdanovic, he hit 9 3-pointers. He hit 9 3-pointers and hit 10 3-pointers, which is a franchise record. 13 of 18 shooting overall in the first quarter. And then before halftime, he was 17 of 30 before the half. That was something to think about. And the sad part about it is, from the free throw line, the Jazz only shot 19 of 24. That's only 70.4%. That is how the Jazz lost this game. The Clippers were red hot despite not having Kawhi Leonard. And he will not be available tonight for Game 6, unfortunately. So right now, the Jazz look like they got to come from behind to force a Game 7. And Game 6 is tonight. And hopefully, they can come back and take this one. This was a setback for the Jazz. But the Clippers, they're playing better. They are playing much better ball. And right now, the Phoenix Suns are thinking, we're just going to sit back and wait and see who we face. They're not taking anything. Right now, I've heard from the Phoenix Suns, they're saying, we're not taking anything for granted. CP3, Chris Paul said, I'm just going to sit back, wait, and see how this whole thing goes. But I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm not taking anything for granted, and that's the truth. And I'm not lying to you. And that's the bottom line. We'll wait and see what happens tonight. in Game 6. Can the Clippers put it away, or will the Jazz force a Game 7, possibly on Sunday? We'll wait and see what happens. Now, the one that everybody's been wanting me to talk about for the last few minutes. The Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee. That's the one that everybody wants me to talk about. They want me to talk about Brooklyn and Milwaukee last night. The Nets had a chance to put it away, and they blew it. And now they got to face a Game 7 Saturday night. But let's do a review of Game 6. Milwaukee beat Brooklyn 104-89. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 30 points, 30 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists in the ball game. Chris Middleton, the star of the game, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. He was the stealer of the show with 5 steals. Drew Holiday, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He was another stealer of the show with 4 steals himself, if you get what I mean. And now, for the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant. Remember Mr. Triple-Double from the Game 5? 49 points, 17 rebounds, 10 assists? Well, Kevin Durant needed to have those numbers for the Nets to win. Kevin Durant, 32 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Not anywhere near enough. Blake Griffin, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. And that's all he had to show. And that was just frustrating right there. And that's the truth of the matter. James Harden, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, not anywhere near enough. For the Milwaukee Bucks, despite the fact they only went 7 of 33 from beyond the arc, they made up for it by outscoring Brooklyn in the fast break 26-4. Chris Middleton, he was 5 of 8 from beyond the arc, while everybody else was 2 for 25. That shows you something right there. And I know that's got to be the most frustrating feeling in the world. For the Brooklyn Nets, this is the 41st different starting lineup that the Nets have had in the playoffs this time around. And it's a frustrating feeling. I understand that. However, when you got Irving hurt, you got Harden just coming back, it's frustrating, I grant you. But look at this lineup. I mean, you got Durant, Harden, Harris, Blake Griffin, and Jeff Green. Blake Griffin during the regular season only averaged 11 points per game. Jeff Green, the same thing. You got Kyrie hurt. And I understand it's frustrating. But here's the deal. It's one of those deals that's happened sometimes. But I'll be fair to you. It's a Game 7. We'll wait and see what happens. But the frustrating thing right now for the Brooklyn Nets, they had a chance to put it away, and they blew it. What will happen in Game 7 Saturday night? We shall see. But right now, this is a major blow for these guys. And that's all there is to it, my friends. That's all there is to it. And that's the sad part about it. Right now, in Game 5, the Nets were...
House of pleasure, house of pleasure, house of pleasure.
But right now, the Nets were basically last night... That's what happened. That was the difference between the Brooklyn Nets in Game 5 and in Game 6. We'll see what happens in Game 7 Saturday night. Definitely. Now, let's move on. Let's talk about some Major League Baseball, shall we? We have 2 big series coming up this weekend. One of these series involves one of the teams with the best record in the American League. The Chicago White Sox face the Houston Astros. Last night in the opener, the Astros took care of the White Sox 10-2. For the White Sox, Yoan Moncada 0 for 3 with a walk. Yerman Mercedes 0 for 4, struck out twice. Jose Abreu 1 for 4 with an RBI. And Dylan Cease, He did not cease to amaze me. Let's put it that way. He only pitched 3 1/3, gave up 4 hits, 7. He gave up 4 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, struck out 4, but gave up a home run. And that's all you need to know. But there were 2 guys that hit home runs last night. Jose Altuve had a home run. He was 2 for 3 with a double, had the home run and 2 RBIs. Michael Brantley, he was 1 for 4. He had a home run and 3 RBIs himself. And Carlos Correa, the 2017 World Series MVP, he was 1 for 3 with a run, an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. And that's all he had to show. But it was a big one. Now keep in mind, the White Sox had just took 2 of 3 for the Tampa Bay Rays in a battle for the best record in the American League. The Houston Astros have won 5 out of their last 6 games, and they're on a 4-game winning streak. Well, let's think about these pitching matchups today. Let's think about tonight's matchup and the rest of the matchups for the weekend. The Friday matchup is an interesting one. Carlos Rondon. He has a 6-2 record with a 1.89 ERA and 97 strikeouts to his credit. Luis Garcia. He's going against him tonight. He has a 5-4 record with a 2.98 ERA and 72 strikeouts to his credit as well. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. The Saturday matchup, that's the one I find interesting. Lance Lynn. He has a 7-2 record with a 1.51 ERA and 80 strikeouts to his credit. And who are the Astros sending to the mound on Saturday? Framber Valdez. He has a 3-0 record with a 1.42 ERA and 24 strikeouts to his credit. Now the Sunday matchup, that's the one that's got my interest. Dallas Keuchel. He will be the one going for the White Sox on Sunday. He has a 6-3 record with a 3.73 ERA and 46 strikeouts to his credit. And who will he be facing? Lance McCullers Jr., a 3-1 record with a 2.89 ERA and 62 Ks to his credit. But if you look at the numbers, like I always do, I look at the numbers all the time, people. This one has got the most interest and intrigue to me. The team ERA for the White Sox is 3.16. And right now, they're hitting .255 collectively as a team. That's big. The Houston Astros, their team ERA is 3.75, and right now they're hitting .275 as a ball club. That's what I find interesting. You know, when I thought about this matchup, when this matchup was first announced, everybody knew that this would be a big one. The Astros are 2 games back of the Oakland A's. The White Sox are in a battle for the best record in the American League. And if they can get some wins under their belt, if they can take the next 2 or 3, they can establish themselves as one of the best teams in the American League. And that's all there is to it, my friends, to be honest with you. This is what I find interesting. I find this matchup intriguing for a lot of reasons. You heard my reasons why? And I'm going to be totally fair to you. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I really am. And I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, I'm going to be totally fair. I'm looking forward to this one. And you've already found out why. Yeah. It's very simple. The Oakland A's and the New York Yankees. I know you guys are finding this kind of interesting. Why am I showing love to the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees? Well, the A's right now have a 2-game lead over the Houston Astros in the American League West. The Yankees are trying to fight to get back into the race in the AL East. I had the Yankees winning the division, by the way. Now, I love this matchup for a lot of reasons. Number one, the A's have won 6 in a row. The New York Yankees have just swept the Toronto Blue Jays. And that's all and now I'm going to be fair to you. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens tonight in the opener. So for tonight, the Friday matchup tonight, James Kaprielian, he is going for the Oakland A's tonight. He has a 3-1 record with a 2.51 ERA and 35 strikeouts to his credit. And who are the New York Yankees sending to the mound tonight? Jameson Taillon, a 1-4 record with a 5.74 ERA and 58 Ks to his credit. The Saturday matchup. Chris Bassett, a 7-2 record with a 3.43 ERA and 91 strikeouts to his credit. He leads the team in strikeouts, by the way. Domingo Germain, he has a 4-4 record with a 3.88 ERA and 57 strikeouts. That's what I find intriguing. That's what I find. In the Sunday matchup, Sean Manera, a 6-2 record with a 2.99 ERA and 78 strikeouts to his credit. And who are the Yankees sending to the mound on Sunday? Jordan Montgomery, a 3-1 record with a 4.20 ERA and 69 strikeouts on the season. Now, the pitching matchups are huge, but the offensive production is also very important. I say that all the time when it comes to Major League Baseball. And let's think about this for the Oakland A's. Matt Olson, he's hitting .297 right now with an OBP of .378. He has 18 home runs, 49 RBIs, and 68 hits. He leads the team in all those categories. But he's also got support. Mark Canha, a .251 batting average with 11 home runs and 30 RBIs on the season. And Jed Lowry, a .247 batting average with 5 home runs and 30 RBIs. And if you look at Oakland's numbers, the team ERA for the Oakland A's is 3.84, and their batting average is .236. That could be important going into this matchup this weekend. But for the New York Yankees, the Judge is back. Here comes the Judge. Aaron Judge, he has a .281 batting average, a 3.79 on-base percentage, 15 home runs, 35 RBIs. Giancarlo Stanton, a .265 batting average, 13 home runs, 36 RBIs. DJ LeMahieu, he's hitting .261 right now with 4 home runs and 19 RBIs. And the team ERA for the New York Yankees is 3.56, and their batting average is .233. This is going to be a fun matchup this weekend between the Yankees and the A's. Who has the advantage? I've already given you my opinion. You guys are knowing it, and you know it right now. In this series, I got to go with the A's because I just hate the Yankees, and that's all there is to it. I was brought up, and that's how I was brought up, and that's how it's going to be for the rest of the time. And that's the truth of the matter. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk some motor racing, shall we? Guess what, guys? The NASCAR Cup Series is going back to Nashville with a Sunday race at 3:30 on the NBC Sports Network. Last Sunday night, I should say, at the All-Star event at the All-Star race at the Texas Motor Speedway, we watched Kyle Larson bank $1 million. A big win for him. And I love this year's formats for the All-Star. Invert a bunch of cars and make everybody work for it. The All-Star event at Texas this year, it was a great race. Great to see the fans back, and it was a great opportunity. So now, with All-Star night out of the way, we could go back to business. The NASCAR Cup Series, like I said, is going to be at Nashville, at the Nashville Speedway, and that is going to be a fun race. I love going to Nashville every year. Maybe somebody can learn how to play guitar when they go to Music City. I'm just having a little fun. But now, business at hand, Sunday afternoon at 3:30 on the NBC Sports Network. Enjoy the race. And now, let's talk about something else. The IndyCar Series is back. The IndyCars are going to Road America at 12 noon on the NBC Sports Network before the Cup race in Nashville. But let's go back to 1 week ago in Detroit. Marcus Ericsson scored his first IndyCar win. After 2 red flags in a controversial way, Will Power may have got robbed of a potential victory. That remains to be seen, but the truth of the matter is, what's done is done. And I'll tell you right now, there's got to be a lot of disappointed people in the Penske camp. Will Power had a car that could have won the race, but a late red flag with just a few laps to go cost him. A lot of people have said Will Power did not restart his car properly. I'm not going to argue that point. That's just to be fair. And now, in race 2, we watched Pato O'Ward make a late race pass on Simon Pagenaud to score his second win of the season. The first repeat winner of this year's IndyCar season is Pato O'Ward. I mean, there's only been 2 veterans that have won races this year. Scott Dixon, he won at Texas earlier in the year. And Helio Castroneves, in a one-off ride, won the Indianapolis 500. Now, Helio has decided he's not doing the IndyCar schedule. He's actually off doing Tony Stewart's SRX racing series Saturday nights on CBS. Just to let you know. I have not forgotten about Helio. I've not forgotten about Helio or anybody like that. So now Detroit is in the rearview mirror. We go to the Road America Sports Car Course. 4 miles around, the longest circuit on the IndyCar trail. We'll wait and see what happens. Hopefully, Road America is a great race. I love going there. I love when the IndyCars go there, because you better believe there's going to be battles all the way to the finish line. I love Road America because of the speeds. I like Road America. I really do. But the bottom line is this. The best driver may win this race, and we don't know who it is. But may the best driver win. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my closing thoughts on this day. This weekend, it's going to be Father's Day. And I was thinking back, Father's Day 1986 at Portland, when Mario Andretti stole the race from his son Michael, when Michael ran out of fuel, coming down the drag strip, and the Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200. When a lot of people ask me, what do you remember about Father's Day? I always remember spending time with my dad. But me and my dad were just sitting around passing the time watching the IndyCar race at Portland. We were rooting for Bobby Rahal. Rahal went out early. So it's basically down to a 2-car race between the Andrettis. We didn't care which Andretti won because my parents hated Michael and Mario because they were a couple of whiners. And that's the fact of the matter. I'm not making that up. But you know something? As we celebrate Father's Day, take the time to spend time with your father. That's what I got planned. I'm not going to lie. However, at the end of the day, we'll wait and see what happens. And that's the truth of the matter. Take the time to remember your dad. And that's what I've got planned. And that's the truth of the matter on this weekend. So as we get ready to close this show, I just wanted to say, Dad, I love you, and I just want to wish my father a very happy Father's Day. And let him know that I am one of the best. He's got one of the best kids in the world. And he loves doing this. He doesn't know why, but he loves it when I do. He's one of my loyal viewers on this show when it comes to watching the show. And the truth of the matter is, Dad, I love you with all my heart. You are one of the best guys in the world that you could. You're one of the most loving fathers I've ever had. And Dad, I love you with all of my heart. And I want to wish you a happy Father's Day. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being with me, and God bless. Goodbye, everybody, and I thank you.
Things you start when you're 45. Coaching, new workouts, and screening for colon.
Have a great day, everybody, and God bless.